The businesses winning paid traffic aren't sending people to their website, which only converts at 4%. They send everyone to a dedicated landing page that converts at 11% or higher. So same traffic, 3 times the pipeline. We are On The Fuse, your elite HubSpot partner, and for the last 10 years, we have built thousands of landing pages for SMBs across North America. We know what works, what's going to burn your ad budget, and in this video, we're showing you how to build a landing page step by step, from creating the page to adding and editing modules, and we're covering the 4 advanced features and the 4 most common mistakes along the way. With that, let's jump in. What are HubSpot landing pages? A quick definition is a landing page is a standalone page built for one goal and one goal only: getting the visitor to take an action, downloading a guide, booking a demo, signing up for a webinar, requesting a quote. No top navigation, no footer, no sidebar to distract them. And when a visitor submits the form, HubSpot grabs that data straight into your CRM and connects it to a contact record that tracks every page view, click, and action. When used right, a dedicated landing page will nearly double your homepage conversion rate. The top 25% of landing pages hit over 11% conversion rate, and every 1% lift typically adds 30 to 70% more pipeline with the same ad budget. The question we get asked on almost every sales call is, can I just send my ads to the website? Short answer, no. Long answer, here's why. From a code standpoint, HubSpot website pages and landing pages are almost identical, but their use cases are vastly different. Website pages are built for exploration. HubSpot automatically adds them to your XML sitemap so search engines can crawl them, and they keep your top navigation in your site footer so visitors can wander around your site as they please, while landing pages are the opposite. They are built for conversion. They have one offer, one message. HubSpot keeps them on that page by default, and they strip the nav and footer. So a visitor has 2 choices: leave or fill in the form. That single architecture difference is why landing pages pull around 6.6% conversion rates, while home pages struggle between 2 to 3% conversions. Let's do some quick math, because this is where it really lands. If you're running 10K monthly ad budget, driving traffic to your homepage at a 2% conversion rate, that's 200 leads. Swap that homepage for a landing page with a 6.6% conversion rate, same budget, same traffic. Now you have 660 leads, which is over 3 times the amount of leads you originally had from that budget. Now, your exact benchmark will depend on the industry, the traffic source, and your form length. So we put together a free resource to help you figure out all of this and what targets you actually should be hitting. This is our free HubSpot landing page benchmark cheat sheet. Inside, you will find 2026 conversion rates broken down by industry, company size, traffic source, form length, and device type, plus all the benchmarks your team should be hitting every month. Grab it free now, link in the description. It will save you guys heaps of hours in trial and error. So to start building your landing page, we're gonna keep this practical and walk through a lead magnet landing page, the kind you would use to offer a white paper, ebook, checklist, or some sort of template in exchange for contact information. It's one of the most common landing pages marketers use, and it's the easiest one to start with. We're going to keep it super beginner friendly, no code, no advanced tricks, 8 steps top to bottom. Let's go. Step 1 is to set up your brand kit. So before you do anything in HubSpot, go to marketing, then brand, and upload your logo, favicon, hex color codes, and fonts. This really matters because every single template, every drag and drop module, every potential AI generated page pulls directly from this landing page. So please do not skip it. Now, step 2, with the brand kit locked in, we actually need to create the page. From the main navigation, click Content, Landing Pages, then hit Create a Landing Page. In the top right corner, pick your active theme and make sure it's the one that actually is pulling from your brand kit. From there, you have 2 paths, but both end up with the drag and drop editor. You just use them differently. Path A is pre-built templates, and this works on any HubSpot account. Path A is the one most SMBs should be taking. On the template section, screen, browse HubSpot's library of pre-built landing page templates. There are options for lead magnet downloads, lead capture, event pages, product pages, and much, much more. Pick a clean, single column template built for gated content. The simpler, the better. Click Use Template, then you're ready to go. This is what we recommend for most teams because the templates are clean, conversion focused, and ready to edit right out of the box. Now, Path B is optional because it's only available if you're on Content Hub Pro or Enterprise with Breeze AI turned on. If you do have this, see Generate with AI button in the top right of the template screen. If you don't see this, just go back to Path A. Now, click on Generate with AI and feed it a structured prompt with 5 things: page's purpose, target audience, value proposition, the tone of voice, and primary messaging points. For example, you could prompt it like, generate a lead magnet landing page offering a free guide on reducing time to hire, targeting HR leaders, 50 to 200 employee B2B SaaS companies. Tone, professional but conversational. Highlight 3 key insights from the guide in our credentials as the author. And then, as always with AI, have a human audit the output before publishing. Now, jumping into step 3. Whichever path you took, you're now starting with the editor. Before we touch a single module, let's take 30 seconds to get oriented with everything you have here. So the editor has 3 zones: a canvas in the middle, a top bar with publish controls, and left sidebar with all of your tools. The top bar is mostly the basics like file, edit, views, settings, and a place to rename the page. The 2 controls you'll actually want to touch are publish, which goes live instantly, or you click the arrow to schedule the publishing, and the device toggles, which let you flip between desktop and mobile previews, and there's also a save button. But you'll mostly want to ignore that because every change is auto-saved. Now, the left sidebar is where real work happens. 6 tabs, you'll use most of them on every page. The add panel, that's the plus icon, is where every module lives. Text, design, forms, media, anything you'll want to drag onto the canvas. Then contents, the site tree icon. This shows your page structure as a nested tree. So hit collapse all to see the macro settings, hero, value bullets, forms, social proof, FAQ, and you can drag whole sections up and down inside the tree to reorder the page in one single move. Optimize, which is the gauge icon, is your SEO tab. Page title, URL slug, meta description, social preview image, tracking pixels, all of it lives here. Test is exactly what it sounds like. This is for A/B testing, where you run 2 versions of the page, or adaptive testing, where you can run up to 5 different variations. Then the global theme styles is the paintbrush icon. This is where you edit your brand colors, button shapes, typography, and spacing all in one place. And every page using that theme will inherit the change automatically. So be mindful of that. And then finally, your site navigator. This just lets you browse all of your other pages, landing pages, web pages, blogs without leaving your editor. Okay, so that is the lay of the land. Let's actually jump into building your first landing page. Step 4 is drag and drop. So open the panel in the sidebar. This is where every module lives. Text blocks, images, video, forms, buttons, spacers, and custom modules from the HubSpot marketplace, or ones that you have custom built yourself. For a lead magnet landing page, keep the structure tight and conversion focused. Drag everything onto the canvas in this order, top to bottom. First, we're going to start with our hero section. And this is an eye-catching headline focused on a benefit or a loss, a one-line value proposition underneath, a cover image or a 3D mock-up of the asset you're offering, like a cover image of the ebook or the template thumbnail or PDF preview, and then a primary CTA button that scrolls or opens up the opt-in form. Then right under the hero, drop a what's inside block. So this is about 3 to 5 scannable bullets on the exact takeaways someone gets from the asset. So skip all the fluff, lead with specifics in either benefits or losses. Next, an author or source credibility block. This is a headshot, name, title, and a 1-sentence credential of whoever wrote or backs this asset that you're offering. If the asset is data-driven, drop in a stat or the sample size right here. Authority is one of the biggest levers when wanting to convert cold leads. Then comes your form. This is your conversion point. So we'll actually be configuring this in the next step, but for lead magnets, the form lives above the fold on desktop and directly right under the hero on mobile. After the form, you're going to want to add social proof. This might be a testimonial, a download count like downloaded 2,400 times by HR leaders, or a row of recognizable client logos. And finally, this is optional, but it is highly, highly recommended, add an FAQ or trust signals block. This is 3 to 5 questions covering the most common hesitations, like, is this really free? Will you spam me? What format is the download? Those sorts of things to help improve your conversion rate. One last note here before we move on. If you change your mind about the order, use the Contents tab to drag whole sections around, but don't delete them. And if a module isn't working on a particular breakpoint, hide it instead of deleting it so you have it to use later. Step 5, with the structure in place, the next move is the engine of the whole page. And this is your form. So we're going to head over to the form that you want and edit it in the forms editor before actually adding it to your landing page. Then drop it right onto your canvas. Now, the goal of the campaign will dictate how many questions you want to ask here. If you are going for mass leads, regardless of qualification, less questions, the better. But if you want to increase lead quality, it's actually smart to add a few niche specific questions so you can sort your leads into buckets and stop unqualified people from entering your database. And here are the stats to keep in mind. Under 5 form fields converts 120 times better than longer forms. And 37% of traffic will bounce the moment you ask for a phone number. For example, on this lead magnet page, we're going for mass downloads. So we're just adding 2 fields. That is the first name and email, and that is it. Then we're going to rename the submit button to something specific and benefit driven. Something like send me the guide, download now, send me the template. Anything but the word submit will improve conversions here. Now we need to actually prep the asset we are sending. So the form is going to capture the email, but the automation tab is what's going to send the download to that prospect. So before we get to automation, upload the asset, grab its URL in 3 quick steps. First, open a new tab and go to Library, then Files in the main navigation. Click the Upload Files in the top corner and drop in your PDF, ebook, template, or zip file. Once it's uploaded, click the file, click Copy URL, and paste it into your delivery email. And elite partner tip here. Host your lead magnet on HubSpot's file manager instead of Google Drive or Dropbox. You will get a stable, permanent URL. HubSpot tracks every click on the download link inside the contact's timeline, and your asset lives inside the same ecosystem as the contact record, which makes it way easier for attribution and nurture automation later down the track. Speaking of automation, that is what we're going to set up next. So we have their email, but we now actually need to send the asset they opted in for to their email inbox. So again, we're going to open a new tab, go to automation, then click workflows on the left-hand side. From here, click create workflow from scratch, and we're going to make the enrollment trigger a form submission. and select the form you just created. Then add the delivery email as the next step in the workflow. And that's the automation done and ready to go. So basically what this does is every time someone fills in that form, they get the ebook in their email almost instantly. Okay, so our email's set. Automation is in place. 2 more steps before we go live, and the next one is SEO. So if we jump back to our landing page editor, click the Optimize tab, which is the gauge icon in the left sidebar, and there's 6 fields here, but only one of them is genuinely optional. So the page title, this has to be under 60 characters, and that's what actually shows up in your browser tab. Then the URL slug, this needs to be short, descriptive, and keyword driven. So something like guides, time to hire playbook, something super specific to your offer. Then the meta description, this goes under 160 characters and should be benefit driven. That's the preview snippet that shows up under your Google listing. Then upload a social preview image so LinkedIn and Facebook or other platforms don't show a generic grayed out box when someone shares your page. Next, set the language if your asset is region specific or if it's written in anything other than English. And finally, there is an advanced feature, the head HTML and footer HTML. So if your team plans to run paid ads, this is where they'd paste the LinkedIn Insight tag, Google Tag Manager, or Meta Pixel scripts. If you don't know what those are, just skip this and ask your marketing agency, and leaving these fields blank still publishes just fine. Now, the last step before we push live is to talk about mobile. So in the top bar, click the mobile icon and scroll through your entire page on the mobile breakdown. Remember here, 65% of your landing page traffic is on mobile, and mobile converts at only 2.8% versus 4.8% on desktop. So you will want to fix anything that looks off before you publish. There are 2 mobile specific tools you'll want to lean on. The first one is hide on this breakpoint. When desktop layouts stack awkwardly on mobile, select any module that's getting in the way, like a speaker grid, a background image, or an extra column. Open the visibility section in the sidebar and then hide it on mobile. And the second is show hidden, which lives in the top bar's display options. Turn it on so you don't lose track of which modules you've suppressed, and turn it off when you want a clean preview. Okay, so once mobile looks good, it's time to publish. Click the small arrow next to the publish button in the top right. That opens the scheduling dialog. And here you have 3 different options. So option 1 is publish immediately, which for most lead magnets, this is the option you will choose. Option 2 is schedule a future publish date. This is useful if you're launching the lead magnet alongside a campaign push. And option 3 is schedule an auto unpublished date. So this isn't relevant for most evergreen lead magnets, but you can use it if your offer has a real end date, like a seasonal guide or a time-limited promo or resource you plan to retire after a campaign window. And elite partner tip here. Host your landing pages on a subdomain like info.yourcompany.com or lp.yourcompany.com. Basically what this does is this keeps your DNS records really clean. It lets HubSpot manage SSL certifications automatically, and it prevents your landing pages from conflicting with your main website infrastructure. Okay guys, there we have it. Hit publish, and congratulations, your landing page is live. Now, for those of you who really want to crush your competition, let's talk about HubSpot's advanced features. Now, heads up here before we dive in, the 4 features in this section are optional, and all of them live on HubSpot's paid tiers. So this is Marketing Hub or Content Hub, professional or enterprise tier subscriptions, and one of them needs a Breeze Intelligence as an add-on. So if you're on one of those plans, follow along because these features could be the difference between a 4% conversion rate or an 11+% conversion rate. So let's go through them one by one. The first feature is smart content. If your portal is on Marketing Hub Professional, Content Hub Professional, or above, you have smart content. And this is a feature that lets a single landing page show different headlines, images, different copy depending on who's actually looking at that page without you having to clone or build out a stack of different pages. So what you need to do to turn this on, open your landing page, click any text or image module, click personalize, and then add smart rules. From there, HubSpot can personalize based on 8 different signals, and these are actually stackable. So you can swap content based on the ad source via UTM parameters, the visitor's country via IP address, what device they're on between mobile, tablet, or desktop, the referral source they came from, their preferred browser language, whether they're already on a contact list in your database, which would require cookies to be turned on, where they sit in their lifecycle stage, existing lead versus a customer, or any query parameter you've added to that URL. Now, that is powerful just on its own, but the next feature is where things get really, really interesting. This one is the most powerful new feature in HubSpot, but it is a paid add-on called Breeze Intelligence. And form shortening, this is the fight that it solves. Marketing, they want shorter forms for more conversions. Sales wants longer forms for qualification. Breeze Intelligence gives you both at the same time. So to turn this on, go to Marketing, then Forms, open your form, and click the Settings tab. If you see a form shortening plus AI toggle, switch that on. If you don't see it, this feature isn't available in your plan. Now, if you're on Content Hub Professional or Enterprise, you've got one more weapon up your sleeve, and that is Content Remix. Guys, this is an absolutely amazing tool. Basically what it does is it takes one piece of content and then turns it into 10 different pieces. So upload a webinar recording or a long blog post, and HubSpot then generates a dedicated landing page, a supporting email sequence, targeted social posts, all from that same source. So to find this feature, we're going to head to Content and then Remix. Select your source asset and then choose your output formats. One thing to check first is make sure your super admin has toggled on, gives users access to generative AI tools. And to do this, go to Settings, then AI. If the setting is off, the feature stays hidden no matter what plan you're on, so make sure to turn it on. Okay. Last advanced feature here. Here's how to run an A/B test manually moving forward. Step 1 is go to Content, Landing Pages, then select your page, then click the test icon in the left sidebar, select A/B test, and HubSpot will actually clone your page under the same URL and split the traffic between both variants. And visitors get cookied. So returning traffic always sees the same version of that landing page. So elite partner tip here, make sure to only test one variable per A/B test. So don't go and change the headline, the form, the images all at once because you'll never actually know what will move the needle. So first test the hero image, then measure, then test the form length, and then measure, then the CTA, and then measure. One variable at a time. Look, if smart content rules, Breeze Intelligence, and manual A/B testing feel like way too much to handle on top of running your business, that's because they are. And that is why we offer a free 30-minute HubSpot audit for professional and enterprise portals only. Now, this is for busy business owners who want to sit down with an elite partner, speak to an expert, screen share your portal, and we'll actually show you where your landing pages, forms, smart content could be pulling 2 to 5 times more leads from the traffic you're already getting. So there is no fluff, just an expert consultation on your setup, link in the description below. Now, even if you nailed every feature we just covered, there are 4 mistakes that will undo all of it. So let's talk about how to avoid them. Mistake number 1 is having multiple CTAs on a landing page. There should be one goal, one CTA, everything else has to go. This means no social media icons, no generic contact us, no footer full of links. Every one of those will cost you leads because every additional choice is a chance the visitor doesn't convert. Mistake 2 is keeping the site navigation. This one is right behind mistake number 1. When you create a landing page in HubSpot, the default template often still includes your site's top navigation. Remove it. That header menu gives visitors 15 other ways to not convert. And once the nav is gone, the next thing is quietly killing your conversions. And that is mistake number 3, which is ignoring mobile page speed. 65% of landing page traffic is on mobile, and mobile visitors are twice as sensitive to page speed as desktop. Every second beyond 2.5 second LCP costs you 7% of your conversions, and 53% of mobile visitors will abandon any page that takes more than 3 seconds to load. The simple fix is run your landing page through Google Speed Test Insights. If you're above 3 seconds on mobile, compress your images, remove any autoplay video above the fold, and strip out unused modules. Even 0.1 second delivers a 10% conversion lift on its own. Mistake 4, there's no thank you page strategy. The form submission isn't the end of the journey, it's the handoff. And most growing businesses redirect to a generic thank you screen that actually is leaving money on the table. So your thank you page should do one of 2 things. Either deliver the promised asset directly, ideally opening it in a new tab so the visitor stays on your site, or if you're collecting qualification data, route unqualified leads straight to the lead magnet and route the qualified leads to a higher commitment offer like booking a consultation or a demo. The visitor's intent peaks here, so you don't want to waste it. So that is the entire landing page framework. Let's do a quick recap. So first point, remember dedicated landing pages convert at nearly 2 times the rate of your homepage, and the top 25% hit over 11% or more conversion rates. Then keep your forms under 5 fields, build mobile first, and layer on Breeze Intelligence form shortening if your plan supports it. And 3, kill the nav, test one variable at a time, and make sure to build a real thank you page strategy. So now you know how important landing pages are to generate and convert leads. But that is just one part of your entire marketing ecosystem in HubSpot. So if you do want to go deeper and build a true lead generation machine, we cover email marketing, forms, and CTAs in another video. So link is in the description. Go and watch that now. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.